Namaste, dear Mooji. Coming from small country on Balkan, Macedonia, Skopje, following you on live satsangs on YouTube. For almost 40 years I felt this gap like this. Why all this growing, marrying, children, grandchildren, diploma, work, retiring, oh, no end, and still this gap. Now I am almost 60 and health is not so good. So it must be prepared for leaving. Where? What? Who? Help me, please. Love and respect, Biljana. For almost 40 years I felt this gap, this space, maybe this emptiness, something that nothing can fill again, isn't it? Must be this gap they're referring to make such a thing about it. For 40 years you're feeling this gap. You see? Why gap? The gap is there because you're searching with the mind, and the mind cannot fill this gap. Why is a gap? Because you're searching with the mind for something, and nothing you can find and nothing you have found in 40 years have been able to fill this gap. You mentioned many things here. Why all of this growing, marrying, children, grandchildren, diploma, work, return, none of that has filled this gap. Your parents told you these things will fill the gap. They didn't fill the gap themselves also. Maybe you coming along, they thought you were going to fill their gap, and you didn't fill their gap, and you can't fill your gap also, whatever you do. So at least that much you know now, okay, this gap. And this gap is only there if you're searching for something with your mind, because the mind itself cannot fill the gap, and the mind itself is the gap. But something watches the gap. Now what can watch that something? The answer is very simple, you see. 40 years of trouble can finish right now. What is watching the gap? Something has taken this gap too seriously, because you've been searching as a person. The person creates a gap. Person is a gap also. You've been searching for so long, and there's a gap no human being can fill. No sentient being can fill it. They cannot fill this gap. Can this gap be fulfilled even? Only when the seeker is transcended. The one who is searching for the gap, you see, is seen itself to be also not true. If you get this, this is what I call, can you be the cow that jumps over the moon? Because for 1 minute it seems not logical what you're asking. Yeah. Something is filling the gap, and everybody believes this gap. And everywhere all over the world they're trying to find something to fill this gap. And nobody's finding it. Children are not doing it, husband, wife not doing it, good job not doing it, sex not doing it, nothing is doing it, education not doing it, money not doing it, fame not doing it. Nothing is filling that gap, you see, for the human being. Only something can do is to know who you are, that which witnesses the gap itself. Can something be so ruthlessly simple? Ruthlessly simple. Yes, it is simple. The only thing that makes it difficult, arrogance. Arrogance makes it difficult. Because arrogance makes you feel, yes, I am this person, I am going to find it. You cannot find it. As a person, you cannot find it. Arrogance is the gap, and the sufferer of the gap. All the while, you are that which sees this gap. But even though it is said, you think something, no, I cannot get that. How can I get that? It says you cannot get it. The you in you cannot get it. You have to be the you-less you. You have to be you without you, and then you get it. Who understands what I'm speaking like that? You see, all these things I've not done it. Growing, marrying, children, grandchildren, diploma, work, retirement, oh, no end, and still gap. Now I'm 60 now. And health is not so good, I know this. So it must be prepared for leaving. Where? What? Who? Who is going to leave? The I is going to leave. The one who is still looking for filling the gap. And what is going to watch this one also? Even to be honest, this one leaving is not a big deal. Because the absolute, the truth, is not going to celebrate the day the ego is seen to not exist. What will it benefit the absolute? Nothing at all. Biljana, please listen to that. What is watching the gap? Don't believe in the gap. The gap is only another concept. You are the gapless truth. Everybody believes the gap because conditioning. What is the gap? I. Conditioning is the gap. This firm belief, yeah, there's something is missing, because as soon as you took the I to be I, me, I am the body, mind, and personality, the gap widens. And you search for everything on the planet, you will not find it. Go to the moon, the gap will still be there. Go to Venus, the gap will be there. Actually, there's no gap on Venus. There's no gap in the moon. There's no gap on the earth. The gap is there. Somehow I've really enjoyed talking about that one.